What's happening, hype stars? Unique Infusionists. I am Queen Unique Brand Supporters. It is I, your hostess with the mostest, and sometimes a little bit extra, y'all. I am Queen Unique. What's happening, everybody? Okay, y'all. So we are live on StreamYard tonight. Y'all know it's been a minute. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all right now. If you're in the building, go on hit that like button for the queen. Go on hit the like button for the first time being live in 2025 from the Queen's Corner, y'all. We definitely have a show for y'all tonight. What's happening, everybody? If you in the building, let me know you in here. I'm gonna try to get in the comments on StreamYard. Let's see if I can do it, y'all. What's happening? Everybody, let's see what happens, y'all. We gonna get it, y'all. Do y'all see me in the chat? Am I in the chat? Y'all let me know. Y'all let me know. I see Stephen Black Stallion in the building. What's happening, Stephen? I see Rebecca Belton in the building. What's happening, y'all? So, y'all, we waiting on our special guest. Let me see. Let me check. Oh shoot, y'all. Looks like we have our special guest in the building. Can you hear me, Esco?
What is happening? What's going on, good people?
What's happening, Esco? Can you hear me good, Esco?
I can hear you just fine, sis.
I can hear you fine too, bro. Let me see. Cause I ain't been on y'all. I ain't been on StreamYard in a minute. So I'm in the comments. What's happening, everybody? We're gonna give people a little time to get in the building. Y'all know how I like to do over here in the Queen's Corner. We usually come in with the music turned up. So since it's been a little while, I wanted to make sure that we can get our special guest in the building, y'all. And I want to turn up. What's happening with you, brother Esco? How you feel tonight?
Man, I'm feeling blessed, man. I'm
Feel
feeling
blessed?
blessed.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm so y'all. I am not familiar with StreamYard, brother Esco. You familiar with StreamYard?
I am. I
You
am.
are
That's why
okay.
that's why I used to do my show. Yeah.
Absolutely. Can you see the comments, brother Esco?
Um, Only you can see them. Oh, actually, hold on. No, actually, I can see them. I
You
can
can
see
see it
them.
first.
Yeah.
Brother Esco, did you have anyone that you wanted to shout out? Anybody that you invited out tonight? Let's go on and give it to them a little bit while everybody's still coming in the building.
Man, I just want to give a shout out to all of Disciple Nation that's tuning in. I want to give a shout out to um all of the hype stars that's tuned in. I just want to give a shout out to everybody, man. Like, I'm all about positivity. I'm all about love. All I want to do
Yeah.
is spread love. It's the Brooklyn way. Of course, that's where I'm from.
Well,
So,
I'm from Queens, brother Esco, but it's NY in the building. You
and
know
wow
what?
day, yeah. So just want to give love and say what's going on to everybody. It's just good to be with the queen kicking it, and just
Absolutely.
looking forward to the discussion.
Absolutely, brother Esco. I'm so excited to have you in the building. So while everybody is still coming in, y'all, I'm gonna get into some music because y'all know how the queen do. The queen like to turn up over here in the Queen's Corner. Y'all know one of my favorites is Chucky Ellis. And y'all know how I do. They not like us, y'all. So without further ado, we're gonna get into it for just a little bit. Let's see. And then we're gonna have to go through ads and stuff, y'all. But we're gonna skip them. Period. Here we go, y'all. What's happening, everybody? They not like us. The devil can't hold me, bro. I'm coming out the mud, coming out my sins, covered in his blood. I came a long way from being drunk off at the club, following my passion. Faith without work is dead. I'm about it action. I had a lot of anger, now I'm working on compassion. My body like a tree, it's the seeds we be planting in that intermittent fasting. His word is the water, swimming in it like an otter. Used to bottle up my problems, now I'm laying them on the altar. They not like us, we the doers, they the talkers. Feeling like
disappointment. God did. This the kind of flow to make an atheist nod his head. I'm not from here. We're going up like the gas price. Who I'm repping?
They ain't even gotta ask twice, hype stars.
Living life Christ like, known to take a Bible,
make them demons go night night.
Way to heaven, holy oil on the tires. Pumping Christian music, Holy Spirit is the driver. Devil thought he had me tied up. Now I'm flying up. The devil getting jealous cause I'm spitting that fire. I used to drink liquor in the morning, I was suffering in silence. Now it's spring water, got
I used to, y'all, but not no more.
Wake up in the morning, I just ran a couple miles, then hit the weight room and finished off with a salad. See them demons, they be hating from the sideline, but we still be out here balling like the combine. Weapons that were formed never prosper. Unequally yoked folk, I had to block them. This is for all of the people that try to stop me, and this is for all of the
shout out to brother Esco in the comments for real. What's poppin', fam? God got us for real.
Best version of me, I'm getting to it.
Best version of us, y'all, we getting to it. They not like us.
They not like us.
Sure ain't.
Not like us.
Shout out to the hype stars, the unique infusionists, the I Am Queen unique brand supporters in the building. And without further ado, y'all, brother Esco, the disciple nation is in the building, everybody. Brother Esco, let us know what's happening. Tell us a little about you.
I'm just an imperfect man trying to strive to be better every day. I'm just, just trying to navigate this thing called life, man, because life is hard. Life is lifing, but God is Godding too.
Absolutely.
And so we just blessed to be here. We just blessed to be in the land of the living on this side of the grass. I didn't wake up in a casket this morning.
Period.
Got a roof over my head, got food in my refrigerator. So, all things considered, it could be, a lot of times we as people, we tend to highlight all the negativity and all the things that are going wrong, but I've been really trying to focus on trying to be thankful for the things that I don't have that's going on, and I never want to dwell on like the shortcomings of other people or what other people got going on that's negative, but sometimes you do have to kind of tap into that just to put things in perspective as far as, well, yeah, I might have X, Y, Z going on, but I don't got A through Z going on. So,
Period.
yeah, so sometimes you just got to try to put things in perspective so that way you can get a better grasp on life and a better like mind frame. That's something I'm really working on personally, is just a mind frame and just having a better mindset to navigate this thing called life. So that's pretty much where I'm at with it.
Absolutely. Shout out to brother Esco in the building. So, brother Esco, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now, this has been long overdue for
Absolutely
our platforms, brother Esco. For the people in the building who don't know how this collab came together, y'all, let me tell you, I was in this sector. I didn't know how to get out of it. I'm gonna go ahead and I didn't know how to get out.
Yeah, but it happens, man. It happens.
It happens. But I can say, what I'm saying? When you somebody used to living a lifestyle like me, I'm used to going into the enemy's camp. I don't mind playing. But sometimes it get a little tiresome. And y'all, on this journey in this sector, I came across Brother Esco. Brother Esco was such a king with like wisdom. I've never seen, and I think it's been almost right out a year, right, Brother Esco, that I've been following you?
Probably about, maybe a little more than that. Something like that, yeah.
More than a year, y'all, and I was stuck in this sector, and I was like, God, just please send me somebody. And he had sent a couple of people, but y'all know I'm a Queen's king. You know what I'm saying? I'm a King's
queen.
And he's a voice, you know what I'm saying, that was different than the other men that I was seeing in my lane. So, Brother Esco, I want to ask you, like, when it comes to, because you out here, and we're going to let you get into you, Brother Esco, but I want to ask you, like, when you see people like myself who were stuck in sectors, who were stuck in places, because you've told us a little bit of your story on Disciple Nation, on on Disciple Talks. How you do it, Brother Esco? Because I know I came across you, but I've never seen you once like in the middle of some mess or going through nothing, Brother Esco. Tell us the secret. What you got going on, Brother Esco?
Listen, if you ask me if it's me, I would be lying if I tell you it was me. One of the things that as I talk about on my show, prayer is very important for me. It's the cornerstone of my life. It's the very thing that gets me through a lot of the things and a lot of situations that I go through. And for me, it's just more so just really praying to God. God, I just want my peace. I just want peace and peace, peace, peace. And I'm really, really big in this part of my life, the latter part of my life, or the middle age, for lack of a better term, is more so about just focusing on my peace and really honing in on that. So one of the things that I ask God for daily is peace and peace of mind. And I'm so thankful to God that He has given me um the ability to kind of turn a blind eye to certain things or not indulge in certain types of conversations or what have you, because at the end of the day, if there's anything that's coming to disturb my peace, I don't want nothing to do with it. That's why you're not gonna ever see Esco going back and forth online with nobody. You're not gonna ever see
Places
Esco.
we go is where?
Huh?
I said 2 places we don't go is where?
Yeah, two places we not going is back and forth, and I'm not doing that with nobody. And nothing against any of the other content creators out there that choose to do that, but that's just not me. I will never indulge in that because at the end of the day, you know, if somebody, people can say what they want. If you're not taking food out my mouth, if you're not harming myself or my kids or anybody that I care about, you can go ahead and talk. You say whatever. As long as I know what you're saying is not true, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? So I just really rise up above that foolishness. It doesn't make me better than anybody else. It doesn't make me holier than thou or anything like that. But I'm just a person who just refuses to allow anything and anyone to come up against my peace. So I have a very watchful eye when it comes to that sort of thing. So when it's beef and all that, a lot of the times when I see people going back and forth online, I bow out gracefully because I don't even want to like listen to people beef. Like I don't even want to be around that because that energy, what people fail to realize is that when you are around things enough, it'll creep up into your spirit.
Yes, it will.
So if you're always around, even if you yourself are not in the beef, but if you are around it, eventually, somehow, some way through osmosis or any other processes out there, it's gonna creep up in your spirit. So I do everything I can to avoid, interacting with that. And so people might call me a square, they might call me lame, but listen, it's peaceful over here, and that's what it is.
Absolutely. And that's another thing that I love about you, Brother Esco, is the fact that like I've literally been following you for over a year and I've never seen you in drama. As it relates to our topic tonight, y'all, and we're gonna get into it in just a second. I still see people coming in the building. Shout out to Quiet Storm Vlog Life is in the building. So for those of you who do not know Quiet Storm is from my Keep Posting family community, the We Are the Algorithm community. So before we jump into Brother Esco a little bit more, y'all, I do want to go ahead. I learned this from Brother Esco, y'all. I got some housekeeping stuff. Is that okay, Brother Esco?
Do your thing, sis.
Absolutely. So y'all got some housekeeping stuff. The first thing I want to do, because I've seen Quiet Storm jump in the building, I want to give a shout out to my Keep Posting family, my We Are the Algorithm family. Because y'all, when the queen was stuck in that sector, not only was there a Brother Esco in line, there was also these families in line. So I got as many of y'all as I could down here. Keep Posting family. If I ain't got you in this shout out, y'all already know what's happening. Don't charge it to my heart. Charge it to we got the Disciple Nation in the building. So my shout outs for my Keep Posting family. Terry Dow was in the building. Y'all shout out to Terry Dow 94 is in the building. Thank you so much for being here, Terry. Nemo 504. You already know what's happening, bro. Sister Mocha's Moment. Y'all go on over there. Keep posting. Y'all run on over there. Boogie Tom, Sean Digg, Stephen Black Stallion, 50 Plus Life, Living Life After 50, Mr. and Mrs. Vegan Kings, my other wrenches in the building, y'all. And I don't know if all of my wrenches are going to be able to be here tonight, but I told y'all on that last video, go on over there, drop your crowns in the chat because we got some gifts and we need to go ahead and get them away tonight. So shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Vegan Kings, Naima Bennett, Mama Bowman, dropping the jewels on this younger generation, y'all. If y'all have not been over there to Mama Bowman, she keeping us in line. Y'all go on over there and drop Mama Bowman some views and some love in the building. Crafting Life with Cassandra. Shout out to my DIY family. The ones who know where the queen coming from. I'm a DIY channel, y'all. Humble Me Hype has somehow become a family channel, and the family be over here cutting up with me, y'all. But shout out to my Crafting with Cassandra channel. Chris the Flash, I love you, bro. Mad love. Felipe is in the building. Shout out to Felipe. Just jumped in the building. Barty Set Gang is in the building tonight, y'all. Rockstar Bree. Rockstar, I love you, baby. I know I've been working. I know you over here in the Georgia state lines somewhere doing your big one, Rockstar Bree. I love you, baby. I ain't forgot about you. Kayla Be Fit Now. If y'all ain't ran over there for Kayla Be Fit Now, y'all go on over there because she giving us the tools to make it happen and get all this stuff in line. So shout out to Kayla Be Fit. God brought us out. Shout out to that platform, because when I was like stuck, y'all, and I wanted to play over there in the enemy's camp, and I was going to get everything that I felt like the enemy had taken from me. Shout out to God Brought Us Out. That platform right there helped bring me out. So shout out to God Brought Us Out. Sharita Jones, baby, I see you with everything that you got going on. I Cherish Church. If y'all have not ran over there and checked out I Cherish Church, y'all know the queen. Even though I be out here turning up, that's what I do. Turn up in the spirit. I still cherish church. I still cherish the love of God. So shout out to I Cherish Church. Bestie Dash. Yo, I was crying one night, y'all, and she seen me on a live, and she was like, "What them people do to you?" And I was like, "They got me heated, Brother Esco." I was mad, ready to hit a live button, Brother Esco. When I say Bestie Dash was like, "No," she done pulled up and scooped me. So shout out to Bestie Dash. Where this initially started. I haven't been in his chats for a while, y'all. He blowing up. I think he got like over 13,000 followers or something like that now, y'all. Shout out to King Explicit. Open Book is in the building.
That's my sis. What's happening,
Yeah, you
sis?
see it, Brother Esco. Shout out to Open Book is in the building. I'm coming around to that side of the saga. But shout out to King Explicit. This is where my journey with the Keep Posting family, with the We Are the Algorithm family started. Because y'all, when I came about that sector, I was like, yo, I don't know what I'm going to do. And King Explicit was like, you going to keep posting? That's what he said, y'all. He said, y'all gonna keep posting. He said, because nobody who did not make your platform, none of them can break you. We're gonna get into it, y'all. So shout out to Explicit. To my soccer, the ones who still sticking around my soccer family. Y'all just seen my wrench. My very first wrench of my whole entire YouTube journey. Open Book is officially in the building. So show Open Book some love. Open, you in the building. Go ahead and drop your link, baby. On Sundays, y'all know I only go 2 places on Sunday. Sunday mornings, y'all, I'm in the Open Book with the worship experience. And on Sunday night, I'm at Bruh Esco Disciple Spot at 7 p.m. with the Disciple Nation. That's all I do on Sunday for Settle Down Sunday. So shout out to them in the building. Did my little swag up team. Y'all run on over there to I'm Just Like That. Yeah, go on over there, y'all. It's a platform out here called I'm Just Like That. This how we do. Whether you be the turn up, whether you be the chosen one to call amongst the people and bring somebody to the kingdom, I'm Just Like That. Shout out to that platform. I love it. Jamaican Queen Lifestyle. Everybody who knows Queen is, you know what I'm saying, West Indian and Panamanian over here. So shout out to my
Pana.
Period. Shout out to my Jamaican Queen Lifestyle. Shout out to my other DIY platform, Miss Do It Yourself. Y'all, if you're a DIY content creator, if you're trying to figure out something to do by yourself, Go on over there to Miss Do It Yourself because she got you. She gonna tell us how to do it by ourselves. Of course, with God, because He make all of this happen for us. But if you want to do it yourself and save a coin, y'all run on over there to Miss DIY. KC, Inspirational Tales. Baby, I've been sneaking and geeking in y'all bushes. I'm hitting them like buttons. Even if I don't drop no comments, I'm hitting them like buttons. I'm loving what I see. So shout out to y'all. My local people in the building right here in the state of Georgia. Y'all know what's happening. I gotta show my people some love. Shout out to Superfan, period. Shout out to Mina Mean. Y'all, February the 22nd. Mina Mean of Superfan gave the Queen a beautiful opportunity, y'all. February 22nd, I'm going to be one of the vendors at the Greco Fest. Shout out to Mina Mean for that amazing opportunity. Also local, I just realized that she was local a couple of days ago, maybe about a week now. Shout out to Ebony Steele right here in Marietta, Georgia with me, y'all. Hopped on Dawn Hampton's panel. For y'all who have not caught it, I was with Dawn Hampton a couple of weeks back. We officially met in real life, y'all. Amazing woman. And when I hopped on her panel, I found out that Ebony is right here in Marietta, y'all. So I am waiting to get my arms on Ebony Steele and show her some love. So shout out to Ebony right here in my own city. You don't never know who God gonna put on your journey. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that I got Superfan right here where I can get my love from, and now Ebony, shout out to those platforms. For real. Brother Esco, before I move forward, do you have anybody, any of your platforms? Take your time with it, King. Go on, shout your folks out.
Well, first of all, let me just shout you out. Again, between you and Open, like you guys, you Open and Tiff over at Break Room 411. Yeah,
Period. Shout
y'all three
out.
are like my sis for life, man. Like the love that you guys have extended to me has been tremendous. So I want to definitely give you your flowers. While you can smell them for sure. Of
Thank
course, Open as well. I love Open. I love what she's about. I
you.
love how neutral she is. Like she's just right there, so she definitely has a soft spot with me as well. And then of course, I don't see Tiff in here, but Tiff over at Breaking Room 411, that's another like strong soldier. So I definitely want to shout you guys out just for being who you guys are. I definitely appreciate you guys for sure. And then really just Disciple Nation in general. It's too many y'all to name, but I love everybody. As I always close out my shows with, I love each and every one of you all, but God loves you more. And that's truly real. Like, well, let me get this out the way. That's getting on my nerves, little thing on my table. But just again, I'm all about love, I'm all about positivity, so I just want to shout out all the Disciple Nation, everybody that has supported me on my content creation journey, which is going on a little more than 2 years now. I've been a content creator, and then the podcast has been going strong since September of 23. So definitely just want to shout out everybody. Is nothing but love here coming from me.
Absolutely. But Brother Esco, you told us about this podcasting and the YouTube and stuff. But Brother Esco, yeah, I heard you do some music, Brother Esco. What's happening? Because that's right in
Yeah.
what we talking about tonight, Brother Esco. What's happening?
Yeah, I've dabbled in music a little bit. I'm actually about to start getting back to it. Me and my oldest son is about to turn 22 next month. So me and him are gonna do like a father-son joint project that we should have done up by late summer is the projected. So somewhere around like August time frame for like around my birthday. So we're in the preliminary stages of getting that together. Music is something that, man, it can speak volumes. Like a lot of the times when you don't necessarily have the words to say, but music can like speak for you. You can hear something and it really just like make you feel a way or could spark certain feelings. So I love, love, love music. I'm a lyricist, of course. Being from Brooklyn, that's in me. But it's about, rapping about positivity and uplifting people. So you guys stay tuned to that. Definitely, anyone that's online right now, if you are not following me on my socials, definitely get at me, follow me on YouTube, Facebook. I'm real big on Facebook. So I follow like updates and stuff, but definitely stay tuned for that. That's on the way for sure.
Absolutely, brother Esco. And open if you can catch them while we're doing so, brother Esco. Go ahead and drop your links so everybody will know how to find you. I personally am a lover of your music. My youngest son. They call him Big Mouthy out here in these airwaves and in these Atlanta streets and in these Carolina streets. He go by Big Mouthy. And just recently, on Tink's birthday, he dropped new music. He had writer's block for a while. So, brother Esco, have you ever experienced like writer's block or a block where you just didn't know what to talk about or how to relay it?
Absolutely, man. Writer's block is definitely real. People will sell you these dreams like, oh, I can go in a studio and I can drop, whenever I feel like it, but that's not necessarily always the case.
Absolutely.
Writer's block is definitely something that's real when it comes to like formulating songs, because sometimes you might have something on your mind, you might be distracted. It's definitely something that is real, but what I would say to anyone that's suffering is sometimes you just got to take a step back. A lot of times when you have writer's block, you try to power through it, but sometimes you got to take a hands-off approach and just really just like take a step away from music for a second to really kind of gather your thoughts and collect your thoughts. And if you are someone who's passionate about what you do, when you have that time that you step away from like a studio session or you step away from like making beats, anything like that, then that basically is kind of what I like to equate it to is like if you have a computer, right? And
Mm-hmm.
the computer, you run the computer, you run it so much, and as you're running it, it's picking up junk files. So basically, what that does is that bogs it down. But
Okay.
what people in the IT industry would tell you to do when it comes to that is shut the computer completely off and just let it sit. When
Absolutely.
you shut it off and then you restart it, what you're doing is you're basically rebooting it, you're refreshing it, you are reestablishing that connection so that way when you turn it back on, now it should work at a more optimal level. Our minds and our bodies work the same way. Sometimes you got to shut it down, you got to detach, you got to decompress so that way you can allow yourself to kind of refuel, retool, so that way when you start back up, now you have a clear mind frame, you have a clearer thought process for you to be able to go in and do what you do. So that's something I have learned um over the years is that sometimes you try to power through it when a lot of times you just got to sit down somewhere
Yep.
and just really just sit down somewhere and and just allow yourself to be refreshed, because we as people, we try to go and go and go, but if you are going without resting, then you're not doing yourself you're not handling yourself with care if you're just constantly going without taking that time to rest and sit down somewhere. So that's important.
Absolutely. So with that being said, Hype Stars, Disciple Nation, y'all in the building. We're gonna get somewhere and sit down and get comfortable. As we go through this live, y'all. Before we move forward, I did a video, I think it was like maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks ago for my mods. I see Open Book in the building. Brother Esco is also one of my mods. He's here on the platform tonight. So y'all, we got a gift. And I wanted to share that gift with y'all the first time in 2025. So shout out to my mods. I see Open Book in the building. So as of right now, we are already 30 minutes into this live, and I have Open Book in the building, and I have Brother Esco. So with revealing our gift for this evening, y'all, we got some merch. Period. Y'all,
Hey.
there are some new logos in the building. The first one that I'm gonna start with tonight, I don't know if we can see it, y'all, and I made this one a couple of days ago. Shout out to Brother Esco in the building. This is the one of the official unique disciple logos in the building, y'all. It's a little bit fitted for my women who were heavy up top. It's a little bit fitted, y'all, but the unique disciple logo. Anytime I sell this logo, anytime Brother Esco sends somebody to purchase this logo, 20% of these proceeds is going to go to the Disciple Nation platform, from Humble Me Hype to show my appreciation to Brother Esco and the Disciple Nation. So y'all, if you have not been checking us out on the captions, y'all gotta follow the hashtags because they mean something. Unique disciple, like y'all, people be like, oh, she, how she gonna be a lover of God and a follower of God and she be turning up? Because my pastor used to tell me it's okay to go to the party, y'all. Long as you take God with you. And I stand on that. So often we get put into titles, we get put into positions where we got to wear so many crowns and we got to be so many faces for other people, when the whole objective is to bring forth to the kingdom. So shout out to the Disciple Nation. Anytime anyone purchases this logo, I'm going to have it on my vendors table February 22nd. It is officially dropped right here on the platform. Anytime it gets purchased, y'all, I don't care what it's on, a t-shirt, a cup, a hat. I don't care what it is. If you purchase a Unique Disciple logo from me, then 20% of the proceeds gonna go to Disciple Nation. So shout out to the Disciple Nation in the building tonight, y'all.
That's big. That's big. And let me just say something about that real quick. God is very strategic in the
Yeah,
way that he does things.
yeah,
So strategic. So whereas people will probably look at you, oh, well, why you amongst like people that they feel are worldly or anything like that.
absolutely.
I've always had a problem with that because if you are to go to the enemy's camp and help people to get out of that life, you actually have to go, you have to meet them where they are.
Yeah,
It's real important for us to realize that we can't be so high and mighty and, oh, well, I don't do this or I do that, that we forget that the people that we're trying to help are not going to be in the church. The people that we're trying to bring to Christ are not going to be where we're trying to get them to. So we have to sometimes go where they are and meet them where they are and come, as we are. That's why you won't ever see me other than going to church. You won't see me out and about in no three-piece suit or anything like that. I go dressed just like
up,
this.
brother Esco. You be swagged up, brother Esco.
I dress just like this because, I want to meet people where they are. I don't want, you know, it's okay to be like TD Jakes and be dignified and all that, but they're not going to reach
I feel like
everybody.
Open said it really good. Open says
Yeah.
in the world, but not of the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we have to, as people who are trying to lead people out of certain lifestyles, sometimes you're going to have to go there in order to bring them out. You can't expect everybody to come where you are. You
Absolutely.
have to go where they are and bring them out. So that's something that I'm real big on.
Absolutely. Shout out to Chris the Flash is in the building from the Keep Posting. We are the algorithm family. Shout out to Chris in the building. V is in the building. Shout out to you, V. Thank you so much for being here. We have the Disciple Nation. Brother Esco, the disciple himself, is on the panel joining me tonight, y'all, for the first time in 2025. It's such a pleasure to have him in the building. Brother Esco, y'all just heard him speak. He is an artist as well as a content creator, y'all. So tonight we're gonna get into our real life review, y'all, of the Who's Got Next music platform. So, y'all, the reason that I chose to review, and for those of you who follow us over here on this platform, y'all know Who's Got Next is Mama Set. That is Offset's mom. She is stepping out. She also goes by Mama Tech. Y'all, she has a new platform as well as a new reality content out right now for the artists. But me and Brother Esco we've been peeping some of them jewels that they've been dropping, and we feel like the content creators can use those too. So we are here tonight, y'all, to bring y'all some of those jewels. The title of this live was Content Creators in the Industry, y'all. And Mama said, done came over here, and I'm trying to get to it, y'all, because we couldn't do our little screen sharing the way we wanted to. But the title of this was How to Build an Insane Stage Presence. Brother Esco, you an artist. How you feel about building a stage presence? Can content creators build a stage presence as well?
Absolutely. I mean, look at, some of the people that I just mentioned. Look at Open. I mean, just being true to yourself
Absolutely.
and remaining true to who you are as a person, the principles and the values that you stand on, you're going to attract the right kind of people to be in your mix. So it's just important for me building a quote unquote stage presence in the content creation realm. It's just about being true to yourself and being consistent with what you do. Consistency is key. If I tell you I'm gonna go live every Sunday, then I should go live every Sunday. If I commit to posting a video or two a day, then you should be consistent because people like consistency and getting yourself out there. So it's really just about being consistent and being true to yourself. And I honestly feel that if you do those two things, then you will attract the right kind of people and your platform will continue to grow as time goes on.
Absolutely. I see V says yes. Can't go every which way the wind blows either. Period.
Period. That's it. Yeah.
So y'all,
And
we get into how to build an insane stage presence, y'all, I'm gonna start unpacking some merch. I'm gonna show y'all some merch. We have Valentine's baskets coming up, y'all. So I want to drop these jewels on Brother Esco because it's not often that we get to cross the path of an artist who can relate to the industry and a content creator to get into the industry. So with that being said, Brother Esco, the next topic was read the room. On read the room, it says, is the energy hype or chill? Match it. Shout out the city or venue. Let's see. It's going a little fast. Let me see. Let me get back to it. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me go on over here. Because I want Brother Esco to get into this with us while we do some crafts. I really want to hear Brother Esco's perspective on these nuggets that Who's Got Next is dropping. And shout out again to the Who's Got Next platform. Here we are, y'all. I just found it. So read the room, Brother Esco. Is is the energy hype or chill? Should we match it? Shout out to the city or venue. Connect instantly, Brother Esco. Keep it real. Your audience can feel authenticity. What you think about that, Brother Esco, while I get into some merch?
so you definitely when the energy is positive, let me say that. Because again, anybody that has interacted with me knows I'm all about positivity and spreading love. When the energy is positive, you want to match it. You definitely want to match it, and you want to, upkeep the energy when it's positive. Now, we not, I'm not matching negative energy at all. We not matching energy at all. We gonna keep it positive. We gonna keep it pushing. You definitely want to shout out, the venue. If you like, again, with me appearing on, Queen Unique's channel, I gotta big her up because she's gracious enough to allow me to share this time on her channel. So you
Thank you.
definitely want to shout, yeah, definitely want to shout out the platform or the venue that you are fortunate enough to be on because again whoever invited you or what have you, they could have chose anybody else. They could have said, they could have gotten somebody else that is more appreciative of an opportunity. um never think never think that you are too big to shout out a platform or what have you because by doing that you are exposing yourself to people that may have never interacted with you. So you
Absolutely.
want to make sure that you big up where they see you at, and then maybe you might be able to have them to support you as well. So it's all about maintaining positive energy, matching positive energy, and also making sure that you are humble enough, like your name says, humble me hype, that
Period.
you are humble enough to be able to be appreciative of any opportunity that you get that you're blessed with.
Absolutely. So let me ask you this, Brother Esco. And as content creators, you know, we want to match the energy. Let's say, we hit these live buttons as content creators and we want to match the energy. But what happens in a situation where, like for an artist, maybe you didn't sell out a room, maybe you didn't pack out a chat. What advice can you give to the artists and to the content creators about continuing on? Like, do we stop because it's not many in the building? How you feel about that, Brother Esco?
It's funny that you say that because not every episode of my show that I do is, hundreds of people. Sometimes it's like 4 or 5 people that's on there, but it's about being consistent and still delivering the same type of performance that you would deliver for, thousands of people. You give that same effort to the 4 or 5 people that are supporting you because again, word of mouth is everything. You might deliver one of your best performances for those 4 or 5 people, and then those 4 or 5 people might tell 4 or 5 people, and then they might, spread the word. So you always want to be consistent, and you always want to do your best, regardless of how big the venue is, or regardless of how your support is. Because to me, when you do your best and you give your best, even though the numbers might not always say the blessings are going to come down. Sometimes you got to plant seeds and you don't always reap a harvest right when you plant the seed. Sometimes it will take a little bit of time for the seed to grow and for it to be nurtured. But as long as you continue to nurture it and continue to be consistent and focusing on nurturing it, eventually it's gonna manifest into a plentiful harvest.
Absolutely. Shout out to that perspective. I can really relate. Like when I first started on YouTube, and Brother Esco, you just gave us a little bit of insight. When I first started on YouTube, I was like, these people don't want to hear this. These people don't want to see, what I'm saying, me doing no crafts or doing none of that. What was something that helped you push or like, keep going? You want to trust God on your vision, but you also want to know that there is someone receiving. So, what's the step as content creators and even as artists? What was the one thing I guess I can say that made you keep going? How did you know that this is where I'm supposed to be, even if it doesn't look like many are listening? How do
I
we know what
was
that feels like?
I will say this, man, and again, I'm not. I don't want to get too spiritual, but I am a spiritual guy.
Oh, spirit,
Um,
do okay. Go ahead.
trusting God. God is not going to give you a vision, um, and have you to fail. Now, our definition of failure is wrapped in numbers, but
Okay.
that's not necessarily the case.
Okay.
I think somebody in the chat just said it. You got to have a passion for what you're doing.
Absolutely. Shout out.
So being passionate about what you're doing is going to sustain you when the numbers aren't there, or when what your idea of success is not coming. But just really maintaining a level head, realizing that again, you plant seeds today doesn't mean the harvest is going to come tomorrow. You have to, and this is something I'm actually working on myself, is patience. Being patient and realizing that the race is not won by the swift or the strong, but those that endure until the end. You got to endure. When you
We
say
talked about
endure,
that talked about that one night over there in Disciple Nation. Yes,
yeah, you have to endure. In order for you to get to, you're gonna have to go through some things. And it's not always gonna be peaches and cream. It's not always gonna feel good, but trust and believe that if God brings you to it, he will bring you through it. And God is not going to give you a vision for you to carry out and not give you the tools that you need for you to be able to carry it out, if that makes sense.
absolutely.
So, so if your vision is truly from God and you have no doubt that that's what you're supposed to be doing, be consistent, be patient, and just continue to grind and continue to do what you do. And eventually, when it's in God's will, it's gonna pop. It's gonna pop. When God says it's time to pop, it's gonna pop. But we just, as people, we have this microwavable faith where we want to have it done in 2.5 seconds, and it doesn't always work that way. So,
Absolutely.
so being patient, patience is truly a virtue, even though I don't have much, admittedly, but it's truly when I have actually exhibit some amount of patience, God has always came through. So it's just about being patient.
Absolutely. And so that leads us right into the next topic. It say on the mic. Know your lyrics inside and out. Use the mic as an extension of you. Tilt it, move it, play with it, speak to your audience between songs. This is your chance to connect. So, can you give us like a real life experience, Brother Esco, of any one of those bullet points?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely using the mic as an extension of you. That is so true. Um, I can speak to
Don't
from
be
a from an yeah,
that.
from an artist standpoint, from doing shows and stuff, and also from a podcast standpoint. Anybody who has watched me live, you always see that mic right there because that's what I'm using as an extension of me by delivering whatever message that I'm trying to convey. So you definitely have to own that mic. You gotta the mic is an extension of you. That is what you use to be able to convey your message to the world. And definitely using that as a prop, using the mic as a prop is definitely something that somebody who I looked up to when I first started doing music. There was like that mic. You got to definitely use that mic as a prop. It's definitely got to be a part of you when you're performing. And I have carried that from years ago until this day, definitely using that as an extension of you to convey your message.
Absolutely. So on this topic, who's got next music? For anybody that's coming in the building, I see y'all coming in. Please hit that like button, share the live, let everybody know that Brother Esco the Disciple is in the building.
No doubt.
That point, it says this next one's for anyone chasing their dreams. So, Brother,
Mm.
with chasing your dreams, and again, you are an artist and a content creator. Do you separate the two? Like, do you feel like there's a difference, or do they all just kind of like do all of your talent just kind of mesh together for the good, for the greater good?
Um, so for me, dreams are so important. Dreams basically gives people a sense of purpose. It gives them something to strive for. So I would tell anybody, don't ever stop dreaming. Don't ever stop dreaming. Dreams sustain you. Dream drives you. Dreams encourage you to keep going. When you keep dreaming, you'll keep going. So I intertwine my dreams with my purpose.
Okay.
I had a dream of being able to reach people to encourage them.
Okay.
And the reason why that dream came about, just to kind of give you guys a little bit of a background, I was at a point in my life in my teenage years, in my early 20s, where I didn't feel like I had support from people. I felt like I was alone in this world, and that was kind of what led me to almost take my life as a result of that. So yes, I am a survivor. Shout out to all my survivors.
Brother Esco,
Um,
you know that.
yeah, yeah. I actually talked about that on one of my episodes. The last episode of season 2, I talked about my testimony about how I tried to take my life when I was 21. Um,
Can I
and I'm
ask,
for
that have anything to do with that job that you kept hinting, that you always hint about? Did it have
no, that actually happened after that. Actually, I was man. Listen, I was so messed up back then. I was tore off, man. That bottle had me gone. But I'm just thankful to God for deliverance, honestly. But yes, don't stop dreaming, man. Dreams will drive you, even when it seems like the dreams are so far-fetched. I am a firm believer that God does not put things in you without a reason. So when God gives you a dream, if it's something that's realistic now, if you're saying, "Oh, God told me that, I'm gonna own, the world," that's not realistic. So we wanna be realistic with our dreams and aspirations. But if you have realistic goals and dreams and things that you want to do,
absolutely?
cultivate them and continue to nourish them. Um, because at the end of the day, God is so merciful that He will give you the desires of your heart as long as it lines up with His will. So if it's His will for your life to do certain things, don't stop dreaming, don't stop pushing, don't stop grinding, And eventually, if you put the work in, because again, faith without works is dead. So
Period.
we don't want to have this big faith and then we're not doing anything, to have it come to pass. So you got to put the work in. But if you're dreaming and you're putting the work in, eventually, you're gonna reap a harvest if it's in God's will.
Absolutely. So, brother Esco, like when I say you like so on point, because like it leads right in to the next, like the next jewel that who y'all we are doing a real life review of who's got next music. Mama Set, Offset's mother. She now has produced two amazing artists who are actually running up numbers here. But we as content creators can relate. We have brother Esco the Disciple right here on the panel himself tonight, y'all, walking in the same messages that music artists are. So, with that testimony, brother Esco, the next topic was move like you mean it. I'm gonna throw a couple of these out here for you, brother Esco. No one vibes without a statue.
Okay.
What you think that means?
No one buys without a statue.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very thought-provoking statement there. Because you think of statue, you think of somebody having earned something or done something or accomplished something to get a statue.
Absolutely.
But so it's almost like that's almost like lighting a fire underneath you, like giving you motivation to keep going because you want to reach a certain level of success. You want to reach a pinnacle of, the dream that you set forth. So you want to go for that statue. You want to be, when you leave this earth, what will you be remembered for? What will people remember you for?
Like
Um, Say it again.
your legacy.
Yeah, what your legacy is. Yeah. Some people, they're just content with being in the background. Other people, they want to be known for something great. Um, I honestly, when it comes to my statue, I would love for my statue to just say that was a solid dude that just tried to help people the best way that he could and try to encourage people. That's if I'm known for that, I will be at peace if
So,
people know me
that
for
your
just encourage
message,
people.
so do you think that your message outshines your musical ability or your content ability with saying that? Like when you say you want to be remembered for being a good dude, would you have being remembered as a good dude over your good works, like your music and your content? What's your legacy? Like, which would you prefer? And like real talk, like you know what I'm saying, real talk. Which would you prefer to be remembered for being a good dude, or being remembered for the work that you actually put in as a content creator and an artist? Like, ain't they both important?
I was just gonna say, ideally, I would love to be both. I would love to have, the best of both worlds. I would love to be known as a good dude who made amazing content. I would love to be if I can be a good dude and make good content without sacrificing who I am as a person,
Shout out
that
to
would be
that one
yeah,
feed the other.
yeah. That would be ideal. Honestly, I just, I would love to be remembered as a guy who was a solid brother who encouraged people and made dope content. That would be great. I would be at peace with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. I like that answer. Let me see. So the next under no one vibes without a statue. Use the whole stage, brother Esco. It's yours. How do you feel like as an artist? Can I ask, have you ever performed and like what was like your biggest stage? Like what do you feel like as an artist? What was your biggest performance versus being a content creator in your biggest performance using the whole stage?
So my biggest performance, I performed in front of like maybe about a crowd of like 10,000 before.
Okay.
So
Yes, brother Esco
yeah,
for real.
this is years ago, but yeah,
Okay.
that was like my biggest, and it was a pretty nice size stage. So just basically working the entire stage, and then as far as concept creation, I think probably my largest showing at one time was maybe like a couple of hundred, maybe.
Okay.
On one live, I remember seeing like one that was like north of like two or three hundred at a time.
Okay.
Um, and is it's true as a performer, as a content creator, you have to use all what you have access to be able to bring that message. And that's dope, by the way. I like that cut. I really do.
Thank you.
Um,
So, Hype Stars, Disciple Nation, y'all in the building. While Brother Esco was sitting here just like pouring all of these jewels into us, giving us the content creator version of the Who's Got Next music industry version. Y'all, I am crafting tonight. I am in a zone. I'm letting Brother Esco do his thing, y'all. And the pieces that I show y'all, we're gonna get through this and I'm gonna show y'all how they're gonna all come together. So shout out to the Valentine's baskets. But you can
for
keep
sure.
Let's go.
Yeah, so basically, using the entire stage, whether it be virtually, for me, what I'm currently focusing on right now is like my podcast and using the entire stage. Of course, streaming broadcasting through StreamYard, I'm able to stream to multiple social media platforms at once. So not focusing on one particular group, but trying to reach multiple platforms and reach out to different people. Because you don't ever want to put yourself in a box when it comes to performance. So you don't want to be using the example of like being on stage. Like let's say you are performing in front of, thousands of people. You
Okay.
don't want to be hyping up the people on the left and then neglecting the people that's on the right, because then they might feel away. So
Okay.
that's why it's important that you use the entire stage so that way you can kind of move around and be accessible or make people feel like they're part of what's going on. And that's when I'm in my content creation journey. That's one thing I don't ever want to exclude anybody. Anybody can come into any one of my podcast episodes. They can put their input, as long as it's respectful and as long as it's, positive, anybody can put input on anything that I say or what have you, because at the end of the day, part of being a performer is you want to connect with your audience, and
Absolutely.
you don't ever want to feel you don't ever want somebody to tune into a YouTube or a concert and they feel left out. They want to feel ultimately feel a part of what's going on. So it's definitely important to use the entire stage and connect with all people, in all that you do. And that's also how you broaden your audience, is by making yourself accessible and making people feel a part of what's going on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I definitely agree. I can say in my city, in my real life, like it's no secret. The queen love to turn up. So like when I go outside as I guess like as a content creator, as a vendor, I've heard people ask me like, are you an entertainer? And it's like I don't think I'm really an entertainer, but I do put on a little bit. So it's like, how do we wear all of those hats? Let me ask this. As a content creator and an artist, as an artist, you performed in front of 10,000 people. As a content creator, you performed in, you delivered content in front of 200 to 300 people. Does anyone feel less? I don't want to use the term less worthy, but does any one of them feel like better than the other, or do they both like serve their own purpose? What does that feel like going from 10,000 as an artist to then like 200 to 300 as a content creator? What does that look like and feel like?
Honestly, for me, and that just kind of goes back to always doing your best regardless of how many people you are in front of.
Okay,
Because whether it's 4 or 5 people or whether it's 4 or 5 thousand people, you still want to give those people that are tuning into you something that they can take with them.
absolutely.
And so it's all about just being consistent, regardless of what the turnout is, being consistent. I think where people messed up is that, oh, they're like, oh, well, it's only, a few people, so I'm not gonna really go hard or whatever.
Right.
But those people that tune into you, they deserve to get something from you.
Ab-
I think about I'm sure everybody has seen the Temptation movie, where
yes,
there was a scene in the movie where they was like, oh, we only sold half of the venue, and but the I think it was Otis was like, well, half of the venue deserves a good show, so I'm gonna still put on. So that right there always stuck with me because it's like regardless of the turnout, you still want to turn up and you still want to do your thing and connect with those people, regardless if it's not as many people as you might have liked it to be. You still want to bless the people that are actually tuning into you with dropping jewels or doing whatever it is that you're doing, so that way they can come away feeling like, wow, even though it wasn't a full venue or even though it wasn't a lot of people, I still got something out of it. So that's important.
Absolutely. I definitely can say I relate. Like with going outside, like I've seen my place in my fair share of going from content creator to, and I don't really think, again, I don't feel like I'm an entertainer by far, but I put on the show. When I go outside, I'm gonna market and I'm gonna turn up because it's in, I always say it's in me, it's not on me. So with that being said, it's like when you go outside in front of, I guess I want to ask it this way: do you have a particular audience that you want to target? Is there one that sticks to you more or you feel closer to than the other that you're just comfortable with and you feel like that's your calling? Or is it just like, okay, it's all the same, let's just go and do it?
Um, so you always want to target people that can get something out of what you're doing,
Okay.
but I don't target anyone or any group of people in particular.
Okay.
Um, because I feel like, as an artist or even as a concept creator, if you stick to, for example, I'll give you this example,
Okay.
especially on Facebook. A lot of people that support me on Facebook are from overseas, believe it or not. I got a lot, on Facebook. I'm almost close to 11,000 people following me on
Yeah.
Facebook right now.
Facebook following is lit. I love your Facebook family, but
Yeah.
like they really dope over there.
But a lot of people that really rock with me are from the Philippines. Like I just got a really big um support system out in the Philippines.
Okay.
Now had I said, oh, well, I'm only going to promote or market to people in the States, I would have missed out on a whole market of people that are supporting me, that are praying for me, that are uplifting me just by limiting who I'm reaching out to. So
Absolutely.
you so yeah,
That's
so
hard to come by on any platform.
Yeah, so you don't ever want to, limit yourself or I'm only going to market to a certain demographic or what have you, because what you're doing is you're stifling yourself. You might not be able to tap into a whole group of people just because of being what I like to call ignorant and saying, "Oh, well, I'm only gonna target, these certain amount of people." Nah, if what you're doing is dope, people are going to gravitate towards you. People are going to feel you. I will always say stay in your lane and focus on, what you're doing as far as, whatever platform that you're on, but don't limit what you're doing to just a certain demographic.
Okay.
If you want to be a person of the people, you got to appeal to all people, not just one set of people.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Shout out to those jewels. Um, let's see. You kind of answered all of those. Um, okay, so here's one. It says, who's got next, y'all? Pro tip. This is a pro tip. We're gonna get it from Brother Esco, y'all. Rehearse your moves with your set list so that they feel natural. Do you feel like you have to rehearse your word as an artist and as a content creator? Because we want to speak on both. Because you do both, Brother Esco. Do you
Mhm.
oftentimes find yourself rehearsing as an artist how you want to deliver a message versus how you want to deliver a message as a content creator?
Absolutely. Again, never, always, and again, that's why I love I love your handle, humble me hype. I love that.
Because I be
Never feel,
this.
yeah, never feel that you have arrived or that you are above practice.
Stephen
Um,
Black Stallion, what's good, bro? We got
yeah,
Brother
you
the Disciple in the building, y'all.
yeah, never feel like you are above improving your craft or anything like that. The moment that you stop practicing is the moment that you can really lose a step or two, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
You guys don't understand, like, and I'm gonna lean more onto the podcast because that's what I'm doing more frequently these days.
Okay.
My podcast starts at 7. I'm preparing from 4 o'clock. I'm in the mirror, like kind of reciting what I'm gonna say. I'm in the
Okay.
mirror, like talking to myself, or oh, that don't sound so good, or what have you. So I'm never above like perfecting my craft and like rehearsing or reciting it just to make sure that what I deliver to, Disciple Nation is the best product that I can possibly put out.
Okay.
I can freestyle, yes, but I also
Let
like
me
to
start
have a certain.
off the top of the dome, brother Esca.
There has been some episodes where it was just straight off of the top of the dome.
Okay.
Honestly, there has been some um that have happened that way, but I do also like to have a certain level of preparedness because people can tell when you ain't prepared, and you don't
Absolutely.
ever and you don't ever want to come across as just being just kind of willy-nilly it, what have you. Now I will say that if God has divine intervention and there's something that God wants you to say and it's going to come off the top of dome that way, then let God do his thing,
Okay.
but you do want to have a certain level of preparedness.
Let God do his thing.
Yeah. Hashtag let God do his thing. Always. God, God has the final say so. He's the final authority. For sure. With that being stated, you do want to have a certain level of preparedness. That's why if anybody who goes to church, the pastor is typically going to have notes about what he's going to talk about. But there are times when, he might hear something from God and he kind of deviates from what he has down. So
Okay.
he is prepared to do his thing, but there are going to be times when maybe God shifts you and goes in a different direction. So you definitely want to, be prepared, but also, don't be to the point where you can't make adjustments or you can't practice your craft, because ultimately that's what's going to keep you at an optimal level by being one who wants to prepare by through practice or rehearsal, whatever the case may be.
Okay. Let me ask this for saying that. Do you ever find yourself as a content creator or an artist? Do you ever find yourself needing to deviate from what you've rehearsed to maybe reach? Have you, like the people who be like talking, like if it's a comedy show and they just be saying stuff and then you got to clap back real quick, or somebody say something to you, you just want to pop off real quick. Have you ever found yourself deviating from what you've rehearsed to reach either, whether it be one or the masses? How does that feel, like just deviating from what you've already rehearsed?
Um, it's a let me how can I say this? It can be the most fulfilling thing when you go off script, but
Okay.
you hit a home run with it. Like you go off script and you know that you were supposed to say what it was that you said off script because it hit. Like you can tell when you are really connecting with your audience when you go off script. And that lets you know that you were supposed to do that. See, that's why it's so important that we really have to hone in on being prepared, but also being willing to go off course if the situation calls for it. You gotta
Oh,
have
willing.
exactly. You gotta be willing to read the room essentially. I know we talked about that a little bit earlier, reading the room and realizing that maybe what you prepared is not what they need. And if you are someone who is experienced enough to realize, okay, well maybe I need to hit them this way or I need to attack it from this angle and
Okay.
it'll hit better versus than what I rehearsed,
Okay.
as long as you have the knowledge base and what you're doing, it's okay to go off script as long as you don't go too far off to the point where you can't come back to what you're trying to do. But also realizing that sometimes you got to go off script for you to be able to connect with your audience.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Shout out to brother Esco in the building. Stephen Black Stallion has joined the chat. Shout out to you, Stephen. Make sure you let Istiani know that I love her. I don't see her in the building tonight, but I'm sending my love and my hugs to her. So shout out to y'all. Let's see. I think we did that one. Let's see. Because Brother Esco, y'all, he giving us some jewels, y'all. Shout out to Who's Got Next Music over there on Instagram. She is also over here on YouTube, y'all. Who's Got Next Music on YouTube. Right now, that platform is sitting at only 12 subscribers. It's very new. So I will ask y'all to go follow, run them views up, because not only are artists in the industry, we are learning that content creators are a part of the industry, whether it be music, whether it be creativity. We, in some manner, are all entertainers. So, shout out to Brother Esco for being here tonight, giving us both sides. He does music, he does content creation. So, the next thing in line, Brother Esco, and you were just saying, reach one, deviating from their schedule, being able to, connect with your audience. The next thing in line was to make them feel something. Connection, perfection. So I'm gonna let you speak on connection, perfection first, because they say nobody is perfect. But when you are
Right.
called to a craft or you are called to a gift, there's some type of perfection in it. And people don't like to, give you credit and flowers for being
Mhm.
perfect at your craft, whether it is that you are imperfectly perfect for God's will and God's plan. So speak to us about the connection perfection, Brother Esco.
Man, that kind of that ties into what we were actually just talking about, like rehearsing your craft and really honing in on your skills. Because at the end of the day, the reason why you do what you do is to build a connection with people. You want to connect with people, um, and that ultimately building that connection with people is what's going to gain you your support.
Okay.
So it's so important for us as people to realize that as we continue to go forward in this content creation journey, you know, perfecting your connection skills and how you communicate with people is ultimately what's going to build your following or build your support group. I'm never above you know, um constructive criticism when it comes to that. Anybody who has dealt with me, tell me, like, look, I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. I don't ever um confess to be perfect. I say that a lot. I'm just an imperfect man trying to be better than I was yesterday.
Absolutely.
So if there is something that is to be learned for me to be able to be better at what I'm doing, then I'm willing to learn. And that's one thing that I will say about myself that I'm proud of is that I'm never above correction. I'm never above learning something new. And if it's gonna help me to be able to reach people better, then teach me. Teach me. Absolutely. So be teachable. Even if if you feel you reach a certain level of success, you can always learn something new. Nobody that's walking on this earth surface knows everything. So be teachable, be willing to learn, and be willing to learn and relearn different ways to convey your message, because ultimately sometimes what you've been doing for a while, it might get stale, so maybe you have to switch it up a little bit. So it's just about being teachable and being willing to learn. Even if you reach a certain level of success, you still want to be willing to learn different ways to communicate or different ways to deliver whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Absolutely. So I can say I'm a regular in your building on Sunday nights at 7 p.m.
Yes,
Um,
you are.
the next one of those bullet points over on, again, y'all, Who's Got Next Music. We doing the content creator review right here live with Brother Esco the Disciple. Tell a quick story about, in this case, it says song, your testimony. It makes it hit different. Was there ever a time where, as a content creator or an artist, that you shied away from telling that story? And if it did it make it feel different when God led you? Or what was that moment like where you was like, okay, like I just gotta put it out here?
I'm actually go pull on Open a little bit because she appeared on my show when I did the a 3-part series on redemption. She actually was on the first episode of that. That was back in season 2,
Okay.
and she actually shared a little bit of her testimony about the things that she'd been through to get her to kind of where she is at this particular point.
Okay.
And it actually encouraged me to be able to share my testimony. I actually I recorded a song about my testimony, but I've never verbally talked about it in the manner that I did. So anybody who subscribes to my podcast, go check out season 2, episode 19. As a matter of fact, it's actually on YouTube. It's called season 2, episode 19,
Two
Redemption Part 3. Yeah.
in the chat for you.
Yeah. Season
Open
2,
can
episode 19.
drop season 2, episode
19.
19. Open for us
Yep.
to chat season 2, episode 19 of the Disciple Talks podcast.
Yep. I can't remember the date off of the top. I believe it was sometime late. No, it was probably like mid 2024. And Open probably can tell me because she was on around that time. I want to say maybe April of last year, somewhere around there. Where I did that episode. I can't remember off the top, but it's definitely the video version of it is on YouTube. I know that for a fact. And then also, if you subscribe to my podcast on your favorite podcast network, you can search for it that way as well. Season 2, episode 19 is called Redemption Part 3. It was the last part of the miniseries I did on Redemption.
Okay.
Um, but yes, just having again when you are affiliated with people of like-mindedness, it makes you feel comfortable in sharing your story. So I had never shared my story publicly in that light where I got into the details of what actually transpired that led to my attempt or my failed attempt at suicide. And so just really being around like-minded people that encourage me that it's okay to share your story and you don't have to be ashamed to share what you've been through, because ultimately people connect when you it's something that's real. People connect with things when they realize that it's something that's real and that they can relate to. So humble, I'm not humble, open, when she shared her a bit of her testimony about some of the things she went through, it actually encouraged me to be able to share my story as well. So that's why again I always shout out open every chance I get, because she has no idea like
Absolutely.
the impact that she made on me from just kind of introducing me to the YouTube streets.
Absolutely. Oh,
Yeah, she's
open
awesome, man.
your back. When you think you have been through it all and you do not want to go any further, open will bring you back. So I can definitely
Hmm.
that.
Absolutely. So I'm definitely, grateful for her really encouraging me to speak out on what I've been through. And that was probably the most emotionally charged episode. Like I'm crying on that episode. I'm,
Let me find
just
go hit the replay
man, listen. No, for real. We cried. We cried on the episode that we did with that me and Oprah did. We cried on that episode. And then when I did that episode with just me sharing I cried. And I'm not ashamed to say that because it was an emotionally charged event, but it just speaks to how good God is, man. And God are
Yes,
really bringing me through that situation to have me where I am at this particular point. So it's definitely awesome, man, for sure.
absolutely. Shout out to Open Book. I don't know if you can see your brother Esco. She said, love you guys. I feel the same about y'all. Um, yeah,
Absolutely.
it ain't no secret. Y'all know Open is my heart. Again, I'm over on Open Books platform. I be sneaking and geeking in her chat, y'all, but I got called away. You know, so I'm there on Sundays. It's only two places I go on Sundays. In my real life, if I'm not with my family, it's only two places I am on Sunday. Y'all gonna find me in Open Book platform with the worship experience. And on Sunday nights at 7 p.m., y'all gonna find me in Brother Esco chat. You know what I'm saying? Doing the best I can to mod for his word. Because over there, the word don't need no help. Because Brother Esco holds it down over there on, you know what I'm saying, Sunday nights. So I am so thankful to have Brother Esco in the building tonight for this live review of Who's Got Next Music. jewels that the content creators, can use. Brother Esco, like, one thing I can say about Brother Esco, and I know I've been crafting y'all, and I'm getting ready to show y'all how I'm putting these pieces together, but y'all don't understand what it means for me to have Brother Esco on this platform, y'all. When I say I was stuck in this sector, and of all the people outside of Open Book, you know what I'm saying? There was a place where I was in, and I didn't think nobody could find me, y'all. And Brother Esco was like, nah, like, what you got going on? Let's do it.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Told me to come.
ultimately,
Like,
yeah,
God got you.
that's it. And that was it, and that was all. I mean, I know it sounds simple enough, but it really is that simple.
You,
I
Brother,
just,
sound mad simple. Like, I enjoy, like, your transparency. I still want you to tell us about that job, Brother Esco. I still want to know what you was doing with that bag.
man, I was getting a bag, but I was getting a
Uh-uh.
bag illegally, pretty much. They told you you got to do certain, you got to do X, Y, Z, and I was just doing X, and
You ain't
still,
following the guidelines.
I wasn't following guidelines, and it was like, yeah, we gotta let you go before we get lost, we get, lawsuits because of you. So,
And you
but you,
talked about that like that was a changing moment in your life. That I almost feel like every time I hear you mention it or speak on it, that you knew that you had messed up.
oh
Like,
yeah, absolutely.
was those times when you had to get with God, like, God, please, like,
Well, honestly, no. At that point, I wasn't about no God at that point. Even after I had lost that job, I was still wilding out. It was
still,
actually a couple of months after that when I kind of like shifted things. So yeah, man, that situation right there was crazy. But again, in hindsight, a good friend of mine, Eric White, he actually has he's an awesome content creator as well. He's actually been a guest host on my show a couple of times as well. He says, he always tells me the things that happen to you had to happen. Even the things that don't feel good, they had to happen because otherwise sometimes God allows things to happen to us to get our attention. You're not gonna, people, for all the good times that you have,
shout out
honestly, let's,
to J Bands in the building, brother,
yeah,
little bro. I see you, J Bands.
you don't learn as much from good times that you do as adversity. I think a lot of people tend to overlook that. If things are always going good, you're not really going to learn because why would you need to call on God if you are always in a good place? But
Ooh,
it's through those adversities that you truly learn, about yourself when you go through things. And so um it didn't feel good in the moment, honestly, but now 20 years later, I realized that it had to happen that way because it basically gave me the foundation, like I talked about on last night, the foundation and the basis of who I am as a person stems from a lot of the adversities that I have gone through and have overcome in my life to this point.
absolutely. Again, runs us right into the next bullet point. Show emotion, laugh, cry, scream, be real. So you just talked about a moment with Open, you know what I'm saying, on your content creating platform where, y'all had a moment, you cried. As an artist, like, what does that moment feel like? Like, we know that you've now experienced that as a content creator, but coming from an artist to a content creator, what are those moments like where it's not like you rehearsed it? Like, God might hit you a different way on stage, and you don't know
Mhm.
what you want to do. I know I've had the moments where there's been a couple, where I got out here on these YouTube streets and I acted a whole fool because I felt like I needed to. In that moment, I wanted to do that. But what does that feel like? Like laughing, crying, screaming. Like, what's one of your memories that you can tell us about as content creators? Like, how do you give into that moment and let it be what it is?
Um, Honestly, for me, it's just more so just letting God have his way. I know that that's probably not easy for people to do, honestly, because you always want to be in control of everything, but sometimes you gotta lose control in a sense that relinquishing what God is doing and allowing God to be God. And that's pretty much what it boils down to for me. Again, it don't got to be that way for you, but that's how it is for me. And really just realizing that there's some moments that are bigger or that only God can cultivate.
Absolutely.
See where we as people get into these situations is that we always think that it's about us and that we are the center of the universe and all that stuff. But sometimes we have to be humbled, for lack of a better term, and
Absolutely.
really allow God to have the situation and allow him to pretty much do what he does. And for me, just really being totally, just totally, saying, Jesus, all right, I'm gonna give you the will. I'm gonna let you lead this portion of it. And I can't get through these things without allowing God to take full control. Um, so that's really just my thing when it comes to that and showing emotion. And oddly enough, growing up, and this kind of taps into like the my passion for mental health. Um, Growing up, I grew up in a family and around people who made it known that men are not supposed to show emotion and men are not supposed to
Ooh.
cry and they're not supposed to because that was perceived as being weak when
Okay.
you were showing emotion. But as I have grown into my adult years, I have learned that that's not true.
Okay.
A man is entitled to have emotions just like a woman is.
Absolutely.
um and so me being able to be vulnerable and tapping into my emotional side, and I thank God for the people who are now in my circle. My circle is so small that it's probably a dot at this particular point. but but I thank God for the people that are in my circle that have really preached to me like, bruh, it's okay for you to show emotion. It's okay for you to cry. It's okay for you to, be vocal about how you're feeling. Because when you suppress those feelings, and it's basically set you up to be like a ticking time bomb. So
Absolutely.
when you suppress your feelings, even as a man, it's okay. Now, I'm not saying you gotta cry all day, every day,
Right.
but if you want to shed a tear or two here and there, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Do you feel like
Um,
being able to tap into those emotions made you a better artist, content creator, or both? Like, do you feel like it had like, something to do with how you move on these airwaves?
Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. Because
Okay.
again, being emotional, people emotions are something that everybody has either experienced themselves
Okay.
or know somebody who has had emotions. You got people who don't show emotion or what have you, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they have not been around people that have showed emotion. So for me to be able to communicate and speak to people, what have you, showing emotion has been it's been therapeutic for me. And then in turn, I feel like it also helps me to be more authentic and not be so robotic. I don't ever want to get to the point where I'm like this robot and I'm just kind of going through the motions. But I still want to maintain a sense of the human element when I deliver any of my messages or what have you, because at the end of the day, I am a human, so I am entitled to show emotion. I am entitled to go through things and have feelings about those things that I go through. So it's
Absolutely.
very important, and I want to speak to my men on this, man. Do not be afraid to show emotion, guys.
Okay.
There's nothing wrong with showing emotion. And anybody that tells you that you should not show emotion because you're a man, they're absolutely wrong.
Absolutely.
They're absolutely wrong, and that's not fair. Just because you're a man, you shouldn't show emotion. That's not fair at all. It's not.
Absolutely. Let me ask this though, because again, we are speaking on who's got next music in the industry, who's got next in content creating in the industry. Has there ever been a time where you have faced where you know what you want to do, you know the direction you want to go, and because of, I guess, like maybe a contract, the professionalism of it, where you had to hold back and compose yourself for, like whether it be purpose of the contract, the purpose of the crowd. Has there ever been a time where you found yourself conflicted, like, yo, I really want to say this, or I really want to do this, but I know I can't for the better good?
So thankfully, I have never been in that position.
Okay.
I honestly feel like people, and this again, this is just kind of on the outside looking in. People sign these deals just so they can, gain the notoriety from it, but they don't actually look at what they're signing, and that's a big no-no. You got to, if you're signing any kind of deal, any kind of professional deal, whether it be concept creation, whether it be musically, any kind of business, you want to make sure that you understand the contract and understand the terms of what you're signing over.
Understand the
I,
assignment.
right. I will never sign a contract where they tell me you can't talk about God. Nah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it because I'm not gonna sacrifice who I am as a person for the sake of notoriety. I'm not gonna do it.
Okay.
Um, so I thank God that any deal that I have done, I have never had to be in a position where I had to kind of like hold back. But I do feel sorry for the people who are put in that position because to sacrifice who you are just for a bag, uh, yeah, I mean, money is good, but what about your soul? What about your values and your principles? And I
Oh,
think yeah, I think that a lot of people are losing sense of that these days, and it's really sad. It really is.
absolutely. So last bullet point, Brother Esco, on the move
Mhm.
like you mean it. Last one says, and sometimes I get in trouble for this as content creators, we do. Sometimes in my real life, in my city, we do. But pointing out your fans, supporters, we'll use for content creation, clapping, dancing, turning up, giving a two-way energy to some people and then not to others. How do you feel about it, Brother Esco? Does one crowd make you feel like one way and another crowd make you feel another way, or is the message just always the same? You just vibe with whoever.
I try to make it consistent, honestly. I really do because I don't want to just be I don't want to speak to one demographic. Now,
Mm.
I would be telling you a mistruth if I sat there and said that I haven't at one point or another favored one group of people over another, but I try to be pretty even kill. I try to be pretty consistent when it comes to how I move and how I operate especially in the content creation where like I just told you guys a big part of my following is overseas. But
Absolutely.
if I kind of shunned them out, or if I only reached out to one group of people, then I might have missed a whole group of people that support me. And I'm talking about faithfully, like strong. Like Filipino people, man, they are some of the most loyal, faithful people on this earth. They will ride with you, they will support you through thick and thin. They will encourage you, they will uplift you. And I'm so grateful for my Filipino. Shout out to my Filipino fam that might be watching this. But um it's just more so about trying to be balanced. And again, that goes back to what we talked about earlier about, regardless of who is in your mix, who regardless of who you are in front of, you want to try to give the same energy regardless of who you're in front of, because you want to be known for somebody that can move amongst any type of people,
Absolutely.
as opposed to just one particular demographic.
Absolutely. Absolutely. With that being said, y'all, Brother Esco is in the building. We have done a live review tonight, y'all, of the Who's Got Next music platform. That's Mama Set. That's Mama Tech is what she's going by now that she's starting businesses and opening up platforms. If you are an artist, if you are a content creator, if you are looking for a network, somewhere to go, outside of YouTube, outside of Queen Unique turning up over here, outside of Brother Esco, the Who's Got Next music platform, y'all, is dropping jewels that the content creators can use. We have been so thankful to have Brother Esco in the building. Before we head out, y'all see me over here crafting tonight. I showed y'all a couple of pieces. I am working on the first basket tonight, y'all, is the red basket. Brother Esco, you know how we doing your platform. I'm gonna let you pray us up out of here. I just want the Hype Stars, the Disciple Nation to see what we got going on. So y'all, we have worked on a red basket tonight during this live stream. So this is going to be the basket, y'all. I don't know if y'all can see it up close. This one is the red basket. This is going to be the basket, y'all, during this live stream tonight with Brother Esco giving us the jewels and the gems from the artist and the content creator perspective. We have our red bottle of wine, y'all. I have completed 2 full layers on this bottle of wine. So this bottle of wine will go into that basket. We have also completed on tonight, y'all, our first wine glass of 2025. I kind of see in this camera, y'all, I'm probably going to go back with a second coat, but we have our first official red Valentine's Day wine glass. It will be paired with every queen that crosses the queen's path in 2025 will have a crown. We will uplift crowns. With that being said, we also have the Unique Disciple logo dropping. Here in the corner, y'all will see that crown being uplifted. I know y'all is ballsy in breast. But yeah, Brother Esco had to give it to him. I'm sorry. This is the one I made to wear at home.
Do what you do.
We have the Unique Disciple logo out right now for anyone who purchases the Unique Disciple logo from myself, from Brother Esco, from anywhere in the state of Georgia. If you see me outside on the vendor table, if Brother Esco sends someone to purchase this logo, y'all, 20% of these proceeds will go to the Disciple Nation platform as my give back, my appreciation, my love. All of my mods, y'all, were gifted in 2024 coming into the new year, y'all, with the gift. So all of my mods already have a logo out here for a t-shirt. All of my mods, Open Book is going to be the next one. We'll preview hers on another live. If you are a mod and your slogan, your logo, your saying, whatever is captioned on the t-shirt, 20% of that is going to my mods. So shout out to my mods. Shout out to the Hype Stars. Shout out to the Disciple Nation. Before we head out of here, y'all, that basket, we have our basket, we have our glass, we have our bottle. Ladies, we also have the hard body red heart. It is the only red heart, y'all.
So let me ask this question real quick. So how can the people order something from you as far as like a basket or whatever other things that you want to sell?
So right here, right now, y'all know I'm still not pushing no website because I'm one of those people. I like to bring the product to the people or be able to send it to you. So if you would like a basket, if you want to send, absolutely open, you're welcome, baby. If you would like to purchase a basket, support the platform. My Cash App has been the same, y'all, for 15 years. It's $ UNYKE. Open, if we can get you to drop these in the chat for us real quick. Before we head out, Cash App is $UNYKE Expressions, EXPRESSIONS. If you are not a Cash App user, I also have PayPal, and I do have a couple of other ways. It's just easier to hit me on Instagram. I am Queen Unique, and we'll work it out to accept a donation or to get a product to you. Brother Esco, what's your handles, baby, so we can make sure we get your Cash App in the building?
Yep, my Cash App is $Esco the Disciple. That is ESCODADICIPLE. Again, as I always say, I never solicit any funds or anything of the sort, but if you felt led to drop a little something for me, I would certainly appreciate it, but it's never about that. I'm more so encourage people, if you want to be a blessing to me, continue to pray for me, continue to uplift me in prayer. A prayer will take me farther than any dollar amount will ever do so. So, but if you felt that and you want to drop something on your boy, please feel free to do so.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Y'all, we appreciate y'all support. Also, I just want to kind of get a couple of pieces out here, y'all, before we head in for the night, because I got a lineup coming. Hopefully we can have Brother Esco back for another segment that I want to do, because I feel
Absolutely.
amazing fit for it. Also, included in the basket, y'all, I have been handcrafting, y'all. So y'all see the red and black beaded bracelets here to go with our red basket. We also we already in packaging, y'all. So this one is the red and black. It has the cross in it. Shout out to the Disciple Nation. I will say right here while he's on the platform already, and I'm going to get with him on the back end. Brother Esco, I'm gonna get your PO box wherever I need to send it. You already got a t-shirt coming. You already got beads coming. You already got a crown coming. So shout out to the Disciple Nation. Open Book is in the building. Open, if you can go ahead and drop your link for me. Open Book is in the building, y'all. My wrench, 20% of every t-shirt that y'all buy with Open's new caption that's gonna drop on my t-shirt probably next week, since we getting on into Valentine's Day. 20% of every proceed that anyone supports from either one of my mods will go to their platforms. Y'all go over here and support these platforms. They are not just uplifting views, they are uplifting lives. And for that, the Humble Me Hype platform is forever grateful. Y'all, we also have the charms in the building, y'all. These can be made into necklaces, bracelets, shoestrings. Pretty Face Raji has made some into some waist beads already, y'all. So we got a couple of things going on. If you are looking for a unique platform with a unique design, custom accessory, fit to fulfill what God has called you for the kingdom, y'all get at me, because we're going to bring you the product straight through the airways or in your city. With that being said, Brother Esco, thank you again for being in the building. If you will
Absolutely.
do like the head does, if you will pray us out of here, Brother Esco.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Let us go to the Lord in a word of prayer. Most precious and Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day, this hour, these moments that we are spending in your presence, Lord. Lord, we thank you for the conversation that we had on this evening. Let it be a nourishment to somebody's soul. Hopefully, somebody heard something that they can apply in their lives, Lord. We pray that anyone that is under the sound of our voices that were touched by something that they heard on this evening, Lord. And Lord, I want to lift up anyone that is dealing with anything, any kind of hurdle, any kind of obstacle, any kind of trial or tribulation. I want to lift them up to you at this time. We don't ask that you remove the barriers from us, Lord, but we ask that you give us the passage to go so that way we can get through them, that way we can be conquerors, that we can be overcomers, Lord. And Lord, I also want to lift up my sis, Queen Unique, Lord. Continue to bless her coming and going. Continue to bless her household. Continue to bless her husband, her children. Continue to bless her businesses. Continue to bless her voice. So that way she continues to be an outreach ministry, because that's what she's doing, Lord. She's being an outreach ministry through her arts and crafts, through her channels, through her social medias, Lord. So I want to continue to bless her, continue to keep her and guide her, and continue to allow her to continue to walk in the purpose that you have destined for her.
Thank you,
And
God.
Lord, let us not forget to give you all glory, all honor, and all praise, because yesterday, today, and forever, you
Yes,
alone are God, and
yes.
you are most certainly worthy of those praises. And we ask all of those things in Jesus' precious and holy name. And let everyone say, Amen.
Amen. Amen. Shout out to everybody in the building. Open says, keep me and my family in your prayers as well. Yes, shout
Absolutely.
out to the husband. I did hear a little of the testimony that you were telling us on Sunday. So shout out to the husband. Shout out to the Mabry crew. Bless them.
Neighbors, absolutely.
Yes, the Mabry crew babies. Them babies is gonna be
Absolutely.
something to handle when they get on up there. Yes,
Yeah, of
brother.
course. Look at
Oh,
who their mother is, of course.
absolutely, absolutely. Brother Esco, it has been simply amazing to have you here in the Humble Me Hype platform in the Queen's Corner, y'all, with a craft on tonight. Brother Esco, I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Oh no, absolutely. Thank you for having me. It was definitely a blessing, an honor, to be kicking it in the Queen's Corner. This is the
Period.
first time, but I'm gonna go ahead and proclaim that it won't be the last time.
It,
Whenever you need me, you know how to reach me. You got all my info at this point, so you
absolutely,
can holler at me.
absolutely. Back in, front end, partner in prayer.
Absolutely. And shout out to Mr. What's happening. Tell him I said what's going on.
Yeah, they actually being nice, y'all. They somewhere downstairs. I cooked dinner early, got everybody out the way, so they chill. I will definitely let them know. Do you have any final words, Brother Esco, before we head out of here?
Let us just continue to keep each other lifted up in prayer, man. We don't know what the Lord is doing, but He's doing something miraculous. So let us
Oh,
just
it's
continue to pray for one another. Extra prayer. Yeah. Let us just continue to keep each other uplifted and encouraged, and so that way we continue to go on and be the best that we can be in God's army. For
absolutely,
sure.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Disciple Nation. Y'all, with that being said, I have been your hostess with the mostest, sometimes a little bit extra, some crafts, y'all, some merch on tonight. We kind of put it all in there. Shout out to the Who's Got Next music platform. Mama said, we love you over here. Offset, we love you over here. Mr. Make a Dollar Every Day, Player Made, we love you over here. Brother Esco, the Disciple Nation, we love you over here. The Open Book Platform, we love y'all over here with the love of
Most
God.
definitely.
Y'all know how I say, go on out there, govern yourselves accordingly, and be great on purpose with purpose in that order.
Absolutely.
Good night,
Absolutely.
everybody.
God bless. Good night.
Good night.
Mhm.